I charged a client $1,200 last week to book exactly 5 sales meetings, and the entire setup took me 40 minutes of actual work. Most of you are still trying to make money with AI by generating generic blog posts or low-quality images that nobody wants to buy. You are fighting for scraps in oversaturated markets while the real money is moving toward high-intent B2B automation. If you can use AI to solve the biggest problem every business has, finding customers, you will never be broke again. The era of mass-blasting generic cold emails is dead. If you are still using the old, "Hi first name, I saw your website and think we can help" template, you are not just failing, you are actively blacklisting your domain. AI has changed the math of outbound sales. We are moving from high-volume, low-quality spam to ultra-personalized, high-intent outreach that actually gets a response because the AI knows more about the prospect than a human researcher could find in an hour. The mistake most people make is treating AI like a faster typewriter. They use ChatGPT to write an entire email, and it sounds like a robot trying to pass as a human. It is clunky, it uses words like tapestry or delve, and it is an instant delete for any busy executive. The second mistake is buying a list of 10,000 names and hitting send without any filtering. That is how you end up in the spam folder by Tuesday. Real AI income comes from building a workflow that researches, filters, and then writes one specific, undeniable sentence that proves you know exactly who the prospect is and what they need. This is called lead enrichment, and businesses are desperate for it because their current sales teams are wasting 80% of their time on people who will never buy. To do this properly, you need a specific stack of tools. Stop looking for a free all-in-one solution, they don't work. You need Apollo for lead sourcing, Clay for the data orchestration, Perplexity for deep research, and Claude 3.5 Sonnet for the actual writing. Forget GPT-4o for this, it is too marketing-heavy in its tone. Claude 3.5 Sonnet is currently the only model that can write a sentence that sounds like it came from a tired CEO at 11 p.m., which is exactly the vibe you want for high-conversion outreach. Step 1 is finding your target. Use Apollo to export a list of 500 people who actually have the budget to pay you. Do not go after small business owners. Go after Series A startups, mid-sized manufacturing firms, or specialized agencies. These people have money and a massive problem, they need more deals. Once you have that list, you don't send them an email. You import that list into Clay. Clay is the God mode of AI income right now. It is an aggregator that allows you to run AI missions on every row of your spreadsheet. Step by step, this is the workflow that makes the money. You tell Clay to take the company domain from your list and send it to an AI agent. This agent uses the Perplexity API to search for 3 specific things: the company's most recent press release, any recent podcast appearances by the CEO, and their current job openings. Why job openings? Because if a company is hiring 3 new account managers, it means they are growing and likely need the service you or your client is selling. This is called a trigger event. Most people ignore this and send a cold email. We are sending a lukewarm email based on facts. Once Clay has pulled that data, you move to the synthesis stage. This is where you use the Claude 3.5 Sonnet integration within Clay. You give it a very specific prompt. Do not ask it to write an email. Ask it to write one single sentence, less than 15 words, that connects the research to a problem. For example, I saw you're hiring 3 new SDRs after your recent Series B. Usually that means your current lead flow is hitting a bottleneck. That is it. That is the hook. It is impossible to ignore because it is factually true and highly relevant. Most people fail here because they get greedy. They want the AI to write the whole pitch. Don't do that. The AI handles the research and the personalized opener, the human, or a very well-crafted template, handles the rest. When you combine an AI-generated opener with a short, 2-sentence pitch, your reply rates will jump from 1% to 15% overnight. I have seen it happen for every client I've set this up for. The proof is in the math. A standard lead generation agency charges between $50 and $100 per qualified meeting booked. If you use this AI workflow, you can book 20 meetings a month for a single client with almost zero manual labor once the system is built. That is a $2,000 monthly retainer for one client. 5 clients, and you are at $10,000 a month using a system that runs while you sleep. The reason I say this is straight talk is because the setup is difficult. Learning Clay takes a few days. Understanding how to prompt Claude for natural human tone takes experimentation. But once you have the system, you own a printing press for B2B leads. To start today, you need to stop thinking about AI content and start thinking about AI data. Go to Apollo and find 50 companies in a niche you understand. It could be HVAC, it could be SaaS, it could be legal services. Take those 50 companies and manually do what I just described. Find a recent news article about them and write a one-sentence observation. Send those 50 emails. When you see that you get 5 or 6 replies instead of 0, you will realize the power of this. Then, and only then, go and automate it with Clay. The market for this is massive because the bold way of marketing is breaking. Google and Microsoft are getting better at spotting automated spam. The only way to bypass the filters is to send high-quality, low-volume, highly researched messages. AI allows you to do high-quality at high volume. That is the arbitrage. That is where the $1,200 checks come from. I've looked at the other tools people are hyping. Most of these AI cold callers or AI video personalizers are garbage. They look uncanny, they sound robotic. They hurt the brand more than they help. But text-based AI research? It is invisible. The prospect has no idea a robot read their 10K filing and summarized the third paragraph to write that email opener. They just think you are a very diligent, professional person who actually gives a damn about their business. And in a world of automated noise, that is the most valuable currency there is. If you want to make this your full-time income, don't sell AI services. Nobody wants to buy AI. They want to buy meetings with qualified buyers. Sell the result. Tell a business owner, I will put 5 qualified leads on your calendar this month or you don't pay. With this workflow, that is a zero-risk bet for you. You are using the most advanced models on the planet to do the heavy lifting. You are not a prompt engineer, you are a systems architect for revenue. Stop playing with image generators and start building data pipelines. The tools are ready, the businesses are desperate, and the competition is still sending high first-name emails like it's 2015. The window for this specific high-ticket AI side hustle is wide open right now because the complexity of tools like Clay scares off the get-rich-quick crowd. Good. Let them stay scared while you build something that actually scales. Start with one niche, master the trigger events, and then go find a client who is tired of burning money on ads that don't convert. Build the system. Collect the check. Repeat.